Alrighty, guys, we are back. It's your boy EQ, and up next we have DJ Akademiks responding to Snoop Dogg after saying Kendrick Lamar took the spot back from Atlanta, and also Ak saying that New York has more emotion musically than LA. And honestly, at this point, I think Akademiks is continuing to talk just to talk and rage bait. I lived in LA for 10 plus years, but I'm originally from New York, so it definitely has a soft spot in my heart. But there's no way this man can actually believe that New York has more emotion than LA with artists like Tyler the Creator, Doja Cat, Ty Dolla $ign, Steve Lacy, and obviously Kendrick Lamar, and a plethora of others. And honestly, I feel like Doja Cat alone could probably lay waste to that claim. Akademiks has already exposed himself throughout the years of being a huge Kendrick stan. Obviously, he knows where his bread is buttered, so he's going to keep continuing to rage bait because it's made him more money than he's ever made, allegedly, according to him. I mean, Ak, we have like years of footage of you proclaiming your love for Kendrick, but those checks for glazing Drake have to be amazing because this guy seems to have definitely sacrificed his credibility and integrity by standing on hills he knows he shouldn't stand on. It'd be very interesting to see how Akademiks spins this. But enough dilly-dallying. Let's jump right into the video. Again, we have DJ Akademiks responding to Snoop Dogg after saying Kendrick Lamar took the spot back from Atlanta, and also saying New York has more emotion musically than LA.
Be like, yo, like kind of all eyes are on us over here now. Like it's a matter of like delivery.
Oh, of course. You can make the same analogy in sports. When there's a hot prospect coming out of a city or another country, don't be surprised to find a lot more scouts go over there and see if they can find some talent of their own.
Delivering now with the records and the
Well,
music.
I'm gonna tell you this: hip hop always shifts. It shifted from day one. East Coast had it. They ran it. It was their world. They controlled the media, radio.
They still kind of do.
The style,
By the way, they still control
Media
the
anyway.
for the most
the
part.
Yeah.
look, the style, the everything.
Right.
Then it shifted. The West Coast, we took it.
Yeah.
We didn't ask for it. We took it.
Of course, when you have Pac, Snoop, and a plethora of other artists that came onto the scene behind Dre's production, it was definitely a major shift.
And when we took it, we ran with it. We showed motherfuckers how you can have it outside of New York and remain you while doing it. Then it shifted back to the East Coast because Biggie and them came and took that motherfucker back. Then DMX and all them niggas came and 50
Jay-Z,
Cent, Jay-Z, and them nigga New York niggas was not playing. Nigga like, hold on, y'all gonna take some shit that we created? Nigga, wait a minute. Boom.
Right.
Took it. But when they took it, they was not respecting the South.
And it's out.
New York totally underestimated the South, and sometimes the pride comes before the fall, and honestly, they haven't regained the top position in hip-hop since. While there has been a few artists that have definitely had their run, Bobby Shmurda for a very short period of time was very hot, so was 6ix9ine, and even Ice Spice had her time. But those obviously didn't last and really didn't lead into a citywide resurgence.
South has had it.
They did not respect the South, but the West always respected the South. So what the South did was said, hey, let's call our cousins from the West and ask them what they did. We just gangbang and took our shit. Oh, that's what you got to do? Yep. And guess what else we did? We made them do what we do. What you mean? They gangbang now. Oh, that's all you got to do? Cool. We gonna bounce. We gonna get crunk. We gonna put these grills in our mouth. We gonna talk about these strip clubs. We gonna pop this player shit from down south.
Southern culture.
And we gonna take this motherfucking rap game. And we gonna hold it longer than y'all niggas had it.
I mean, they've had it for, I mean,
Hello.
Jesus.
They probably had the longest run.
Yeah,
It's so
fair.
good for the South. Niggas rap like them now.
Not only rapped like them, they totally hijacked their production. I feel like mainstream rap is primarily done over Southern production for, I want to say, for the last 20 years now.
Everybody.
Stop me when I'm lying.
No,
I didn't even rap on some. But remember, who saved me from death row?
Master P.
Where you from?
He from New Orleans.
Hello.
Yeah.
New No Limit.
That shit's crazy.
South-West connect. We've always been there. It's just been a disconnect with the East. So when the South took it, they don't want to give it back. The South don't want to give it back, but there's somebody strong that can take it from the South. That's us, the West.
I think that's what's dope about the timing of Missionary.
You could have made that motherfucker to a cartoon. That should have been hard.
Missionary and GNX coming out in the same like month.
Hey, don't sleep on Ice Cube album.
And the Cube album is dope.
Don't sleep.
It's My Ego's My Shit. Great video.
Master
That whole-
storyteller.
So sensitive.
But there's even like the Dogpen album a few months ago. The East Side of shit is. I just feel like it's and I just hope that we. Is there anybody on the younger side of LA hip hop that you got your eye on that you're just a fan of that isn't necessarily associated?
Is that
with
Meet
Death
the
Row?
Wops? Is that the name of them?
Meet the Whoops.
I love them.
Yeah.
I love them niggas. I love the red side. I love the
Jay
young,
Worthy and those guys.
yeah,
are dope.
but I love how the rap game on the West is leveling out. Like for a while, you know, the Crips, we was like dominant. You know
For
what I'm
sure.
Of
saying?
course, Snoop, Nipsey, bunch of others.
So now you starting to see a throw named Julian Torres, who makes a media power.
The source.
Yeah.
This guy.
Yeah, I love Snoop, and respectfully, he's like the godfather of rap. So I want to be as humble as I can say this. Yo, these West Coast niggas is delusional. Like, I don't know what they're talking about. Like, they be like, yo, we back. We're back. Yo, we took this shit back. And I'm sitting here and I'm like, bruh, I love Snoop. Snoop. Like, you unk. So, like, really, I'm going to just shut the fuck up. Just shut the fuck up. Even though, like, I'm going to walk in the next room.
I think he thinks that it's just Kendrick Lamar rapping on the West Coast. You got to name Tyler, the Creator, who had monster first week sales. You got to name somebody like Doja Cat, who does rap as well. And you got people like Ty Dolla $ign that's making full records with Kanye. So I just think Ak is definitely in his own little bubble.
And tell my cousin, yo, Unk tripping. He took his meds. This nigga tweaking. He think the West took it back. What the fuck? The West ain't got a motherfucking thing. With all due respect, I think this is still one of the weakest points in West Coast history today.
That's more of a testament to how hot they have been. Of course, when you have Pac, Snoop, and Dre dominating the radio, yeah, of course, that's one of the greatest runs ever. And obviously Ice Cube and NWA's run, and YG, who came out to a lot of critical acclaim. Can't deny that there's a ton of artists doing amazing rapping out of LA.
You have
Or the West Coast period.
artist, uno, one, at remotely near their peak. I would have, you see, let me give a compelling argument where I'd be like, damn, the West Coast really, like, they going crazy right now. If YG was remotely near his peak, good. If Roddy was remotely near his peak, good. If the game was somewhat, kind of culturally making some noise, good. Let me see. Give me some more names. Give me some more names. Like
Tyler, Doja Cat.
When niggas finally admitted that Atlanta was about to be, bro, they had like 7, 8, 9 artists pop up. They didn't have just one nigga. They had like 7, 8, 9 artists pop up.
No, Atlanta dominated. And if you had to pick one city, obviously they'd be the city that most people would pick. But Memphis right now is super hot. And like I said, obviously there is a lot of eyes over here because of Kendrick Lamar. And it's going to be up to the people out here to capitalize on it. And who knows if they actually do it. But this guy is forgetting to name Tyler, the Creator, who for some reason really isn't brought into these conversations. But a lot of the youth really love Tyler, the Creator. He's like their Kanye, you know what I mean? So yeah, I definitely think this guy is in his bubble. You can't really talk too much when 2 of your top 3 on your Spotify rap happen to be Kendrick songs.
2 Chainz, Migos, they just have nigga after nigga. Gucci was always there. T.I. was always there. It was just nigga after nigga after nigga after nigga after.
That's a fact, though.
Tyler, the Creator, I don't listen to Tyler, the Creator's music and think West Coast. Well, again, so that's
where you're moving the goalpost because they don't have the typical West Coast sound. You still are a West Coast artist. Like I said, Doja Cat may not be rapping on mustard beats, but she's out of LA, and she's a megastar.
where we have to like, just like, and again, that's not me trying to like pick and choose when it comes to West Coast. I don't listen to Andre 3000 and be like, oh, Atlanta's back. Not that he's rapped in a long time, because his sound isn't necessarily the sound of Atlanta. So if you want to say the sound of the West is back, I want to hear niggas with the West sound.
This is him trying to spin it. Right now you're moving the goalposts. And just because someone doesn't confine themselves to a specific sound in production doesn't mean you aren't a rapper coming out of a city. You just happen to have a different sound.
Vince Staple, Mozzie,
Another one.
love those guys, but again,
Mozzie is super West Coast.
And maybe, again, I also reserve the right to be wrong. Maybe I'm not seeing something. I haven't been to LA in years. Like, the last time I've been to LA, I was just like, yeah, I'm not coming back for a while. So maybe I got to go to LA. But even then, I don't think that defeats my point, because if whatever Snoop and I hear some of these West Coast guys are talking about, if it's only felt in LA isn't doing anything it's never done. LA, we've looked at as regional for years.
No, 1000%.
Kendrick is the only one making noise outside of LA.
It's funny how even his chat can name people, but he still won't acknowledge the fact that they're coming out of LA. And Mozzie dropped a fire project this year.
Somebody says Outkast put Atlanta on the map. Well, I'm talking about new Atlanta.
Facts.
Like, Outkast put the South on, because it was they stamped, yo, the South.
They were
is
like
in
really
this
the
bitch.
first, yeah.
We get that.
They definitely let everyone know when they went up to accept their award.
But when we started thinking about Atlanta owning this shit, and we knew that New York lost it and Atlanta had it, we're talking about the Futures, Migoses, we're talking about the 2 Chainz.
Nah, it was way before that, man. I'm pretty sure when T.I. and Jeezy and all them were running the charts, fam, for me, that's when the shift was made.
We're talking about the Travis Porters. We're talking about
charge
the
your phone.
Roscoe Dashes. We're talking about like that Atlanta sound that essentially became mainstream otherwhere, and that people wanted those beats, and people wanted that style, and people wanted to do that. That's what I'm saying. Yo, the West can't be talking that they're back when we don't hear no more. We don't hear none of their artists outside. I'm telling you, and I put on radio sometimes.
Guys, I want you in the comments to name the plethora of LA artists that are making major noise, because I know I named off a bunch, but I know there's tons more.
And I sometimes put my window down when I'm driving down. I got to hear other people play music. I don't hear one West Coast artist out here other than Kendrick. I do hear Kendrick at times. I do. Schoolboy Q, shout out to him. I don't know if he's hitting at his peak right now. That, again, I'm not trying to disrespect these artists.
He dropped a great project, but
I'm just trying to say,
mainstream-wise now.
for the West to really have for us to have a legit conversation about the West being back, we need a few more people near their peak or close to their prime.
You also have to give a region some time. At the end of the day, the eyes are on them now, and it's going to be up to them to capitalize on it.
Somebody said Toronto's on top. Nah, what are you talking about? Q is at its peak right now.
Rapping-wise, maybe.
Does Q have a song that everybody's bumping?
I will agree with that, at least in terms of like your city does have to be bringing in numbers to say that you have become the face of hip hop. But Schoolboy has definitely been rapping his ass off and dropping some dope music this year.
Atlanta still got it. Houston is making a run.
Memphis,
Florida's
fam.
always like, Florida is just too vast of a place because it's so big. Pause. Because you'll have
Southern
Rodway
Florida
from St.
dudes.
Pete's, then you'll have Kodak from Broward, and then you have Boston Richie from, I forgot where he's, like, there's just people everywhere. It doesn't come across like, we would have to say that's the whole state, which it is. So Atlanta still runs shit. And why Atlanta runs shit? Because I could think of like 5 top artists clearly from there immediately still. Lil Baby, Gunna, Future, 21 Savage. Those are like four of, and Quavo. Come on.
Those are our premier artists.
Offset, come on. Again, that's what it kind of means, right?
But the thing is, I'm pretty sure Offset and like Quavo's projects, I don't know if they broke 100K first week. You guys definitely let me know if they did. Tyler did 300,000. Kendrick Lamar just did 300,000. Doja Cat, I'm pretty sure is up at that level, if not higher. So I think a quick Google search is definitely due for Akademiks.
Atlanta still got it. New York been bubbling. New York has been bubbling. New York has been bubbling.
That's so erroneous, fam. I know it's because he's in Jersey. So if you do hear anything region-based, it's going to be obviously something from New York. But you can't say that is bubbling over LA right now.
I would probably say Atlanta, New York, and Florida's tied. So New York, Florida tied.
Nah, Florida
Atlanta,
got more
New York, Florida. Then what do we say?
buzz than New York right now.
Afterwards? Houston, Chicago. Chicago always has some type of presence somehow. But you probably got to throw Memphis in there too. I ain't gonna lie. All those places come before. Nigga, I think Memphis is hotter than the West Coast. Again, Kendrick is the biggest artist in the world right now. Like, he is. Like, I mean, I'm talking about culturally. He is.
I feel like that's the one statement that people are gonna be like, all right, at least you got one right.
I mean, you think one man could carry a whole coast on his back? Fuck no.
No.
I got mad regions hotter than the West Coast right now. The landscape of New York City is hotter than West Coast. Florida, hotter than the West Coast. Houston, hotter than the West Coast. Yo, at least Houston's giving us new artists. Shout out to Big X the Plug. We're getting some new shit out of there. We obviously know Travis is from there, but Travis couldn't carry it all by himself. But we're seeing new blood in.
Well, it takes more than one person. Like I said, when you have one of these acts that blow up from a region, more eyes definitely get drawn to that area. Akademiks is definitely sleeping on LA.
And new people pop up and hold it down. That's good. Like the West Coast is probably like below. Let me see. There, I mean, these are the places above the West for me. Not in the same order, but Atlanta, New York.
Do not agree with New York.
Houston, Memphis, Chicago.
I mean, Chicago is pretty region-based as well. I don't really see them having, other than somebody obviously like Kanye. But even his numbers have been slipping, obviously due to the fact that the guy's independent right now.
Where else? Detroit. I got Detroit over there.
This guy, man.
Okay, I'm gonna just say Texas. I know y'all pointed out the X's from Dallas. I'm gonna just say Texas then. Okay, so I'm not gonna use Houston. Just use Texas. I should use Texas because some people from Dallas, some people from Fort Worth. I get it. So I'll say it again.
This guy's naming cities and states and using them interchangeably. But I definitely agree. Right now, Atlanta is still the city. But to put New York over LA, I think that's definitely erroneous.
We got Atlanta running it. New York, Florida. Texas, Chicago, Memphis, Detroit. I don't know about St. Louis. I think St. Louis. St. Louis? No.
He's going to put St. Louis above LA. The fact that it's even a conversation in his mind is crazy.
We'll give it West Coast over there.
Nah, he's hating.
Yeah, I'll throw West Coast probably beating out St. Louis. But that's what I'm trying to say.
Probably.
California, the biggest state, the least impact nationally. Biggest state, least impact nationally. Okay? Now, granted, if you're in Cali, it probably is like, what the fuck is he talking about? But I'm just telling you. I hear niggas be bumping Detroit music way before they're like, yo, let's put this guy on. He's from Inglewood. Like, no disrespect. I know y'all tough out there, but we don't hear it all here. And honestly, I think if I'm an artist in LA, you got to figure out why your music ain't traveling.
A big thing is that it is so regional sounding. And what really helps is delving into other production, which is why somebody like Kendrick and Tyler and Doja and the plethora of people that I named are doing so great because they just aren't doing the stereotypical West Coast sound. You see them really expanding their production choices. But I can't understand why Akademiks is moving the goalposts and not including them, especially when they've all been killing it within the last few years on a way higher level than New York.
You have to figure that out. Why is your music not traveling? Because at that point, if it's hot in one region, it's not traveling to others. A lot of it's promotion. A lot of it's marketing. Get on your job. Okay?
This guy, man. Rage Bait 101.
All right.
It's crazy because his chat was getting lit up with rappers that he should be including. Obviously, he ignored all of them. He knows saying these things is obviously going to cause some type of outrage. To actually think that there's a conversation to be had over what city is hotter in hip-hop, St. Louis or Los Angeles, yeah, man, I feel like anything you say after that can totally be disregarded, even though I do agree that Atlanta still has the top spot. But there's definitely other cities in the South creeping up that could potentially change that in the future. I think he really needs to look at the charts over the last few years, and he'll be able to pick out a lot of people that have been doing great out of LA. But obviously, he's not the type of guy that likes to bring facts into arguments. And while LA does have a lot of new eyes on their artists, it's going to be up to them to capitalize on that and really put out music that can resonate. But yeah, man, I'm still taken aback that he thinks that New York is hotter musically than LA right now. And this guy's arguments were all over the place. You can't keep comparing cities to whole states and states to whole coasts. But definitely let me know what you guys think. What do you guys think about him saying that New York is hotter musically right now than LA? And also let me know what you guys think the hottest region is. I obviously still think it's the South if we are using West Coast, East Coast, and the South. I still obviously think it's the South, but there's definitely a lot more new eyes on the West Coast. And the East Coast, honestly, guys, really hasn't been the same in like 20 years. While New York has definitely had those few artists that exploded onto the scene and definitely had an impact, it kind of fizzled out and faded away way too soon for you to say that that region is hot. Because if we're using his argument, we're going to need to see more than one or two artists to proclaim that this is the hottest region in hip hop. Definitely let me know what you guys think. Definitely hit the like and subscribe button, guys. It does the channel wonders, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Channel is growing exponentially, and honestly, it's all thanks to you guys. Every day I wake up to like a ton of new subscribers on the channel, and if it wasn't for you guys making this channel a part of your day, it wouldn't be where it's at today. And guys, I haven't been doing this for a long time. I just want to let you guys know how appreciative and grateful I am for you guys supporting the channel. It really does mean a lot. I'm really looking forward to what you guys have to say on this situation, because I think his arguments were definitely all over the place. But I hope you guys love the video, and I hope to see you guys soon. All you had to do was just read your chat, man. I feel like at this point he just ignores them and rage baits them.